As Usher mentioned just a moment ago, last night was the first night of peaceful protest since Michael Brown's death on Saturday. Many attribute the calm to the man you just saw there, Captain Johnson. Johnson joined the Highway Patrol in 1987. He was promoted to sergeant in 1997. In 2002, he was promoted again to captain of Troop C, which oversees 11 counties, including St. Louis. Johnson was just 39 years old at the time. And joining us now is Jonathan Clarke. He is a blogger in St. Louis who also does news analysis for the website Politics in Color. Jonathan, good to see you. Got a bunch of questions for you. Yeah, great on my end. I've got a bunch of questions for you. Let's get started here. What's your reaction to the back and forth here, the latest police news conference? Let's start there.
So I think the thing that we need to understand, first of all, in order to frame this, is understand that it's something that one of your sound bites said just earlier before coming into me. And you talked about a verdict. So if you understand that there's a possibility, a strong possibility that an indictment could come out of this, and that there could be a trial, there's a jury pool that has to come from here. And so there's this consideration now. There's the possibility that we've got to consider that could any of this information that's being released now about some link between a robbery and Michael, could any of this be used to mitigate the actual act, which we understand had nothing to do
and to taint a jury pool, a prospective jury pool.
And to taint a prospective jury pool, not just here in St. Louis, but also not just here in St. Louis County, but also in the surrounding counties. Now, understand this as well, Tony. This region, when you're talking about the Midwest, you're talking about a place that it's a law and order place. Mm-hmm. It's a place that tends to want to believe its police. It wants to believe its prosecutors. Yeah. It wants to believe in the system. It doesn't want to believe that a police officer is going to gun down a teenager in the middle of a street in broad daylight. Right. And so it's got to have a reason, to nullify any of that. So how much does the release of this video potentially connect to the release of the officer's name, who we've been waiting for the better part of a week? And so I think that hopefully that frames everything for you.
Give me a moment. How does, because you're all over this point, and let's deal with it. It's in the room, so let's deal with it. How does, or to what extent does the fact that Michael Brown was involved in this robbery moments before his confrontation with the officer, Darren Wilson, how much does that fact, that set of facts, change the narrative around Michael Brown's death? If not in reality, in perception. If not in reality, in perception.
Yeah, analytically and objectively, it shouldn't. The shooting of Michael Brown all by itself, if he had his hands up, as so many witnesses have said, right, should stand alone. But you and I both know that there are folks who are saying, and they've got to be careful how to phrase this.
I know.
There are folks who want to say that he deserved it, or he's the kind of guy who should have deserved it.
And even if they won't go that far, they might say he was no angel.
He was no angel, and the release of this video puts that ink in the water, and so I think that's what the community is going to start focusing around. And then you have Captain Johnson, the matter of Captain Johnson, who's supposed to be on the ground in no other capacity, no investigative capacity, certainly in no other capacity than to be a liaison with the community, to show the community that he's in charge. And then you go and potentially blindside him. I mean, I would love to have been a fly on that wall when he had a conversation later on with the Ferguson police chief, and he must have asked him, what's going on here? Right. And so, how do you blindside the guy who you put up there to create some sense of communion with the community? That's it's an embarrassing. It's a wealth of embarrassment.
It is.
The Ferguson Police Department right now.
And I am always aware, Jonathan, and I know, look, you're a grown man. I'm always aware of what I don't know and the blind spots in my knowledge. And I think at the end of the day, we'd all have to conclude that the Ferguson Police Department when it had this information, its decision to release the information, how it went about doing that, why it waited so long, was there a mitigating statement it could have made that would have calmed the streets a little earlier? They've just mishandled this. Any quick thought on that?
You know, unfortunately, there are more questions than answers,
right.
And I think that's really what's bothering everyone. That potentially, if you look for a common thread throughout all of this,
right.
is that there've been more questions than answers. There's been an information vacuum.
Yeah, exactly.
Which has led to so much of what we.
And Jonathan, I'm long in the segment. I appreciate your time. Thanks for being with us for much of the day. Actually, Jonathan Clarke, he is a blogger in St. Louis who also does some news analysis for the website Politics in Color. Jonathan, thanks for your time. Yeah, pleasure, man. And there are